now strain the tea bags and the bulk tea out of our tea sugar water concentrate and get them into the brewing containers. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to show you how to do that. I have a strainer here, which I put over the lid of the jar. And then I get a really giant soup mug. And be very careful. You can really hurt yourself here if you're not careful. We've strained it all out. You can see the amounts here are uneven. So then you just need to even them up. See, are they about close? It's about right. Doesn't have to be perfect. Close enough. And then we've got the sugar tea water. We've got about 5 quarts of sugar tea water concentrate in each of these jars. Then, you remember our goal is to do a 21 quart batch, which is 7 quarts per jar. So now we have to add 2 quarts of filtered cold water per jar, and that will bring us to 7 quarts per jar. So here's our here's 2 quarts of filtered cold water in this one. 2 quarts in this one. And 2 quarts in this one. Now take your wooden utensil and stir it. And what you have is 7 quarts per jar. And now we are going to take another break, and this is going to take about 2 to 3 hours to get to body temperature before we can go to the next step. We are back, and the sugar tea water has now cooled sufficiently to move on to the final step, and that is to put the starter and the culture in there and move them to a location where they can brew for 7 days. Incidentally, when you're brewing larger batches, interestingly, it doesn't take any longer for them to brew. These will still take about 8 days. We're here in the spring in March, probably 8 to 9 days to brew, I'm guessing. And the reason I don't go any bigger is these jars are pretty heavy to move, and that's why I don't go with any larger containers to brew, because then you can't move them around, and you need to really be able to do that. You see in some places where they have 5-gallon brewing tanks with a spigot at the bottom. Those really don't work because those spigots are made of plastic, and you would have the finished kombucha brewing in a container where there's plastic exposed. And as I talked about in my Kombucha for Beginners videos, you can't have plastic involved at all with kombucha, either when it's brewing or when it's finished brewing. It always has to be clear glass. So just make sure you're safe, and kombucha is a wonderful cleansing drink. Don't turn it into just another toxin in your environment by doing it wrong. So here we go. We're going to put in the starter, and we've got 7 quarts per jar here, which means I'm going to put in close to 2 cups of starter. And the reason I'm putting in that much starter is, again, when you start doing the concentrate approach like I did, diluting with water, once you put the concentrate in the brewing containers, you do increase your chances of mold. And that's why this is an advanced topic, because people who know when you do things to increase your chances of mold, you need to increase your starter accordingly. And that's what I'm doing here by using almost 2 cups of starter per jar. So we're going to pour the starter in first. A little less than 2 cups, but almost. course, you're going to mix with a wooden utensil. And then you're going to add your culture to each jar. And then you are going to cover and seal. It's not really a seal, just secure your cotton cloth, the rubber band. And then you're going to make sure that kids and pets are out of the way. And you're going to move these to a safe location where they can brew uninterrupted for about 8 days. This is Sarah, the Healthy Home Economist of 𝗏𝗏𝗪𝐻𝚀HOMEEconomist.com. I hope you've enjoyed this video on the Kombucha Advanced Topics. And I would love it if you ask any questions on the blog. I'd be happy to answer any questions or concerns you have about anything I've covered today. Have a great day.